One of those videos where you really have to listen because there's no way I can spell it out or make it clearer and all that. You just have to listen. Um, Definitely dealing with prophecies, but dealing with two zodiac signs, Leo and Aquarius. Now, like I said a long time ago, God told me to solve the mystery of Thomas, and I didn't know what the heck was going on. Make a long story short, first he introduced me to the female of the twin. These are twin flames, and then God introduced me to this dude Thomas. He was going by the name Thomas Moore on YouTube at the time, and he looked just like Tupac. Now y'all gotta understand when God, I've been walking with God for decades, but around the early 2000s when Tupac made that double CD, I think it's Until the End of Times, and I was basically told to study it, study everything about it, study everything about Tupac, study everything about the murder in Vegas, study everything. And I like, man, I was on the East Coast, and at that time, East Coast we wasn't feeling Pac too much. Um, as far as what went down with Biggie and shit like that. Uh, it was later on in life, everybody, they understand how advanced Pac was and shit. But like at that time, like come on, it was only 4 years after what the murder. And then Biggie was only 3 years after Biggie. So I was mad. I was like, man, I want to study no Pac. Why we studying Pac? I was mad. I was an East Coast dude. I was like, man, why was? And then God was like, you're not gonna get. I'm not giving you no gifts until you learn this. So I started digging. The more I dug, the more you could just see the prophetic significance of Tupac. Now, like a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff's online, a lot of stuff is going on. But I've come to understand, like I said, the scripture I use is Isaiah 45, 6 to 7. That God is in the darkness, God is in the light, God is in the good, God is in the evil. Just the way it is, you can read it yourself. So God is working both sides. So God can use anybody, anything. One time in the Bible, he used a donkey. God will use anything to get his point across. You got to learn how to listen to the voice of God. A lot of people are not going to understand that because, like, if you take Christian religion, they try to give it to you black and white. But the more you study it, the more you really understand God. God is everywhere. And as long as you're listening to the voice of God, you should be all right. That's why David said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. So you got to learn how to listen to the voice of God. In John chapter 3, the same thing. When Nicodemus trying to get Jesus to explain himself, and Jesus said, I don't have to explain myself to you. The wind will list where it wants. In other words, God, the Spirit, goes where it wants to. Um. So again, uh, anybody knows astrology, especially, I'm not saying other people or other signs haven't been going through shit, but Leo been going through shit for years, like unbelievable. But again, you got to remember, astrologically speaking, Leo is the lion, which would be the lion of Judah. Now, opposite Leo on your transit or space chart is Aquarius, and this guy Todd Thomas More is an Aquarius. Now, Aquarius basically is an air sign, but even though it's an air sign, it's a water bearer. So you got to understand this. All this stuff is in the Bible. Now, the Bible speaks about the bear and stuff like that to make it real quick. The bear's job is to take these angels, which now have been cast down to earth. Your Bible is always talking about stars being cast down to earth and all that. They are really here, whether people believe it or not. And make sure, because they have a number. And ironically, this dude Thomas More, that's his number. Because you got to understand how powerful that number is. I'm going to hit that number right now in my audio. That's how powerful this is. That's why I said this is something you gotta listen to. This is not TV. This is not something you're gonna get because you're gonna have to think. And plus you're gonna have to have some type of spirituality. Otherwise, this video gonna fly right over your head. Um. So when they say the age of Aquarius, that's when these angels go back up because they got cast down. Now they get ready to go back up. That's the age of Aquarius. That's the water bearer. The bear was the oppression they had to go through. Now I'll give you one Bible reference. 2 Kings chapter 2. When Elijah went up in the chariot of fire, his partner, his protege, Elisha, stayed down. And then some little children started going, "Go up, you bald head, go up, your bald head." So they was being real disrespectful to Elisha. So he sent 2 she bears to kill him. But all that is a prophetic symbolism. And the bottom line is this: that the bear takes these fallen angels now in human bodies through hard time. The water bearer, Aquarius. But then there's going to come a time when they go back up into the air sign. So that's all Bible stuff. So people don't realize, because when they're born, they think that your life is your life. But really, your life is part of God's prophetic puzzle. And when you have that calling from God, at some point you're going to realize there's something different about you. Or why that's always, why me? Why me? Like I say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Who want to be walking through a valley of shadow of death? I shall fear no evil. So why God got you walking around in evil? And he did it again in Matthew chapter 4, because as soon as Jesus got baptized in Matthew chapter 3, the Holy Spirit took Jesus out in the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. In Revelation 12, you hear about the woman had given birth, the stars cast down to earth, and being in the woman running in the wilderness. All right, now that is the background. So whether they like it or not, they still have a part in it. So I'm not even going to try in this video. I'm not even going to try to take you to the depth of hell that Leo has been going through, but especially now. And this is why I want to tell anybody listening, because people think, well, I'm older now. I'm older now. Life should get better. I've been serving God for decades. Life should get easier now. It don't. Why? Because it's all about he gets glory. That's why he wouldn't even use Moses. Moses wanted to serve God when he was still relatively young, and God wouldn't let him do it. God had Moses chased out of Egypt. And why did he have him chased out of Egypt? Because you can't save nobody if you chased out of Egypt. Because God didn't want to see Moses save the Hebrews. Not until he was ready. So he waited till Moses was an old man, could barely speak. And Moses didn't even want to go. And then that's when he sent them back, because God wanted to get all the glory. So that's why you got it. And when you study Apostle Paul, everywhere Paul went, all kind of hell was breaking loose. And Paul had to get used to that. But that's not easy to get used to. Especially because everybody around you don't like you. Because every time your name come up or something, it's some BS. What is this guy's problem? Seems like he can't go nowhere without something happening. But that's why smart people like that really need to tap in the spirit. Because you're going to need that spirit to get you through all the hell God going to put you through. Because if you try to do it on your own willpower, you won't make it. What happened just now, recently, it was at least 2 times. Had not I started praying, I would have been out of there. Because that heat was taking me out. And then the second one was issues with the medication. Because medication and you got to stay cold. How it's going to stay cold when ain't no electricity? And this is like the whole community. This ain't got nothing to do with, oh, you should pay your bill. Ain't got nothing to do with paying no bill. This is God moving, but it don't stop there. And that's why I did one video. I just, like I said, this is my first time I've even been online as far as recording message. I tried to record a message while all this stuff was going on, but this one will be the better message because I got a clear understanding. All right. So that's the way it is. And again, you have to understand, though, other people not going to understand it. Your relatives might say, man, this guy, every time you hear from him, something going wrong. I'm sick of talking to him. Other people that deal with you might not even want to deal with you because they sick of hearing it. You have to be steadfast. Like I said, steadfast, unmovable, always willing to move forward, because that's why you have to really be a spiritual person. You got to really believe that word of God. You got to really believe prayer. You got to learn. You got to learn how to pray and then stay. Now, why I said pray and stay? Because you stay waiting for God, and He will come through. Because in any form of doubt, any form, I'm gonna say it again. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. So while he's walking, and keep in mind, he's not running. He's walking, because he's not running, because he know God got his back. But there is definitely something there, because he's talking about I shall fear no evil. So obviously he's got evil around him. Even when Jesus was in the wilderness, if you read all those accounts, there was like angels. It said wild beasts was out there. So it was all kind of spirits and all that out there messing with Jesus. It wasn't just the devil. There's a whole lot out there. And they say once Jesus passed the test, all these other angels came and started ministering to him. But that's a reference to these angels I'm talking about. So you had Jesus, the lion, or the Lion King, and you got all them angels showing up, which is that Aquarius sign. And if you notice, when they talk about Jesus fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, they never said nothing about fluid or water, because that would be, again, Aquarius is the water bearer. And this is why everybody's waiting for the age of Aquarius. That's when these people go back to that realm that they came from. So you could actually say the age of Aquarius is the age of angels. And that's why I be trying to tell you, y'all got to know etymology, like I keep telling you. Just like a city like Los Angeles, that means a city of angels. And Cali, California, again, that was a very powerful woman of color, an empress, Khalifa. So all this power is still in full effect. And you'll be hearing more about it as you because there's people out here talking about stuff like that. On my channel, I tell you the ones I listen to primarily. All right. So now, like I said, so everything just kept going wrong, kept going wrong. But you can't give in to fear. That's why I said Apostle Paul was on many ships that would become shipwrecked. Now you gotta understand, when a ship becomes shipwrecked, the storm alone will scare the hell out of you. Cause you know how if you ever been on a ship and you be out in the water, you don't see jack. Like if you really out there, I don't think most people understand how big, say, the Atlantic Ocean is, or how big the Pacific Ocean is. But when you get out there and you in that deep and you don't see nothing, and then a windstorm come, that alone will scare the hell out of you. That could cause you to go into shock and die. That's why I be trying to tell people, ain't nothing funny about this that I do. Ain't nothing sweet about it. Because you will be tested to your limit. That's why I said it, God. It's a spiritual walk. This is for people that really do study, pray, apply, maybe even fasting. So a lot of stuff went down. And I will talk more about it probably in another video. We'll just see. But anyway, at this point, now I want to do two things. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing, because I still got to talk more about Aquarius. But now we got to talk about some other stuff. Now, it's been a lot of weird shit going on that I'm not going to really talk about in this video. I did allude to it. But it's just been strange shit going on with people in my neighborhood and stuff like that. But right in the area where I got issues with these people, lightning struck. And when that lightning struck, it took some of the houses out in our neighborhood as far as electricity. Knocked down wire, knocked down trees and all that. Not everybody, but a nice amount of people. But it's these same people that I've been having issues with anyway. And that lady, at that time, I'm on this channel. When I came to this channel, It was a lady. The same day I came in this channel was a lady that tried to be slick and put all her garbage and stuff in my garbage can. But I caught her and put all that stuff back on her property. Now this is crazy because she couldn't walk for a while. Now remember, this happened around 2014. She couldn't walk for a while, and she just began to walk right when this happened. So it was kind of somebody was looking out for her, because had that happened a few days earlier or whatever, she wouldn't even been able to walk. She wouldn't have been able to get out of her house or nothing. And her electricity didn't come back on. They had to make her wait till later on because her wires or whatever came down or whatever. But it was right in that same area. I'm trying to tell you, that area that's in dispute with all these neighbors and all that I be talking about out here. That's why I be saying, I be trying to tell people, when people talk, what they saying is prophetic. Now you might just think it's nagging or, oh, so and so said, why don't he stop talking about that? But it's prophetic. All this stuff is for a reason. Because even that lightning hit, you gotta remember, angels are considered angels, a light, and also angels throw lightning. That's one of the weapons. So I'm not going to tell you just yet while we're about to study this, but this is a part of everything. But I have been telling y'all something strange is going on. Something strange is going on at my house that I've been talking about. But outside, not in the house, but outside, which I will be clarifying in this video because of what happened. But first, before we do that, we're going to study this animal. So they say there's two animals. One is an opossum with the letter O, and one is a possum. And they want you to, like, I'm looking at I'll probably put these pictures in at the end of the video, so you'll get to see these pictures I'm looking at right now. But they're showing you what an opossum look like, and they're showing you what a possum look like. But when you see one, you don't care. You just want to get the hell away from me. I don't care if you're an opossum or a possum. Get the hell away from me. That's all I care about. But we gotta find out what the message is. And that's the best I can do with that picture. I'm not gonna be out here all day. All kind of stuff is still going. So that's the first thing they wanted me to know, the difference. So what I saw probably was a opossum, possibly. So possums are really in Australia. So when you be seeing, you say, "Oh, I saw a possum." You probably saw an opossum. Opossums are immune to the venom of rattlesnakes. So they claim that opossums lived during the age of dinosaurs 70 million years ago. Possums can make more than 20 different vocal sounds: screeches, chatters, grunts, zook, 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 squeaks, hisses, and clicks. There are 103 species of opossums. Now, I'm not going to keep comparing possums to opossums. I showed you that one picture. So in many parts of the southern U.S., opossums are commonly known as possums. However, possums are native to Australia. So you southern people need to get it together. Get it together, you southern boy. They're going to possum, Jim. Hey, Jim, Bob, Billy Lou. You know how southern people be having like 45 different names. Jim, Bob, Billy Lou, Willie, Gussie. No, it's opossum, not possum. You got us up here calling it, it's not a possum, it's an opossum. But no, I've been telling you all about Australia. Everything happens for a reason. And they say even though they look like rats, they are not related to rats. They are related to koalas and kangaroos. So both of them. And they can thrive in different conditions. And they are double wombed. The sharp tooth American opossum looks scary. You're damn right, especially when it's up on your ass. They talking about the Australia opossum looks cute. No, it won't. Ain't nothing cute. So the possum is nocturnal. Tree dweller has a thick, bushy, furry tail. Yo, oh yeah, I need to tell y'all something. Because I don't know if this is the same opossum or not. But the night I seen that opossum or whatever it was, the very next day it was 2 murders. Right in that same area where it was at. Right across the street, like right outside my house. But that's right across the street from my neighbors. The ones that I'm beefing with. Now, I came out here like last week I think it was. And it had rained. But after the rain, it looked like death. And I was going, man, it looks like death. I kept saying it looks like death. And then all this shit happened. And the opossum won't necessarily run. Like if it's in the yard and you out there, it'll keep on walking around. Like one time I said something and it tried like it, I called them possums. But I said something, it almost came up to me. Like I said something to it, it almost came up to me. Like was trying to be friendly. I was like, you better not come over here. I'll knock you upside the head. And then the one I seen today, it ain't even try to run and shit. It ain't growl, it ain't do nothing. Just looked at you and shit like, what the fuck? I got the fuck out. I ain't run. I just started backing up. I said, oh shit, early in the fucking morning, man. And it's like all hell breaking loose. I like at what time you gonna show me this shit? And we got so much going on right now. Don't need no more problems, man. But they just keep coming. That's why you just stay prayed up. So they say black possums are found in Tasmania. So now they got an opossum showing you his teeth. Yeah, that's definitely what I seen though. Opossum fur consists of coarse, long, flat hair and is not suitable for clothing or interior decor. I'm not gonna read all this. An opossum's face is white. I can tell you that's true. Yep. And yeah, and it do be it's almost like upside down. All right. Opossums eat insects, earthworms, slugs for you thug niggas. So if you shoot somebody and want to get rid of the cartridges or whatever, the bullets, the shells, bring an opossum. He'll eat them for you. Snails, crayfish, lizards, frogs, small rodents, mice, rats, young rabbits, small birds, eggs, grasses, vegetables, fruits, berries, grains, human garbage, dead animal material. Opossums eat snakes, even poisonous snakes. They have a remarkably strong immune system, partial or total immunity to the venom of rattlesnakes, cottonmouths, and pit vipers. They have a protein called LTNF that neutralizes the venom. Opossums are not good runners, 7 miles per hour, but they have amazing strategies to protect themselves from predators. When I tell you what this one did, it's going to shock you, because it damn sure shocked the heck out of me. They said if they can't get away, that's when they're going to growl. They're going to growl and hiss and show you their teeth. Like I said, this one just looked at me and shit. That shit shocked the fuck out of me. Like when I tell y'all what happened, this shit was like, what the, and y'all don't understand. It's been hell. Like y'all don't understand. Like every move I was about to make will be fucked up. Like totally fucked up. Like if I had just made the move 2 minutes earlier, it probably would have. Everything was just fucking up over and over and over again. But I've been doing this for a long time. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you know who you are and you got confidence, it don't mess with your mind. Everybody else would be going, oh, you know, they feel guilty, or maybe this is happening because I did something wrong. Like the Book of Job. That's why I studied the Book of Job with y'all, because I showed you what happens when God really puts righteous people through hell. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. And they will play dead. This one didn't play dead though. It just because you can't, where he was at or where she was at, you can't play dead. How the hell you gonna play dead? How'd you get up in there? The fuck is this shit? Talking about the unique habit of playing dead is found only in well, this one didn't try to play dead and look right at me and shit. So they say that's where they get the word possum. They don't play dead. And it also knows how to drool. It'll even drool to make you think it's dead, and it'll hang its tongue out and close its eyes. Wow, what a smart. You should get an acting career. It'll become limb and will give the appearance of being dead. The heartbeat slows down, and it may also defecate. So it excludes a repulsive, foul-smelling musk like fluid from its anal glands. And they said you could push it, you could poke it, it's not going to respond. So you really think it's dead. I just left it alone. Like I said, I had too much going on. I wasn't messing with it. I said, I'm going to have to deal with this another day. It's too much going on. So once the animal perceives that the danger has passed, it'll wiggle its ears, trying to catch sounds. Once it's sure that it's safe, then the animal will get up. But you would think that it was dead. See, y'all gotta remember, I told you this is all Bible prophecy, because it tells you God would punish His people. They will go down like they're dead, but then they get back up. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Now, me, because of the heat, because of everything going on, I wasn't able to do Jack Dilly squat at all. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. Because when you in heat, and y'all gotta remember, I got medical problems and shit. When you in heat for all them hours, that shit fuck you up. So I was really out of it. out of it. And the funny thing was, when I finally got up and finally began to move around and stuff like that, I felt better. As soon as I looked at the clock, it was 444. Now that's Thomas More's number. That's also the archangel's number. So that's what I'm talking about. It's a dead-like state. But like I keep trying to tell people, these angels that have been on earth going through oppression, they about to rise. The 400-year prophecy of Genesis chapter 15, 13, and 16 is about to be fulfilled. Now they say if this animal realizes that danger is still around, it's still going to play dead. And they say that opossums can heal themselves. That's what they said to Messiah on the cross. Heal yourself, save yourself. You saved everybody else. So a lot of their sexual parts, male and female, are two. They say a possum only lives 2 to 4 years. A possum lives 5 to 6 years, but an opossum lives 2 to 4 years. All right, now we got to find out what's the message. Because I still ain't tell you how I saw this thing. This is CaliforniaPsychics.com. See, I told you all about Cali. Now, this one hanging upside down, that's how it looked like. But it wasn't in no tree. When I tell you what this thing did, it's going to shock you. But they are real innovative. So I got a picture of one hanging upside. That's exactly what I seen. And it just looked at me. It ain't try to play dead or nothing. It just looked at me. It ain't growl. It ain't show me its teeth. I looked at that thing. I just back. I said, I don't know what I said something like, because I'm still half asleep. I said, hey, I said something. I just backed the fuck up and just started walking away from there and shit. Now Thomas More was just telling me something about magic, because it says opossum medicine magic. Then they started talking about the Native Americans. And they say that melanated man is a real Native American. Who knows? I'm not saying he is, he's not. And as I said that, it's a melanated man in the picture. It's kind of funny they did that. His name is Isaac. Abraham Isaac Jacob. Said you could talk to him for $1 a minute. Alright, so I'm going to put his picture so you can see him too. Alright, now I normally don't do the daily horoscope here, but let's go ahead and do the daily horoscope. We're going to do the daily horoscope for Leo and Aquarius. This is California psychics. Before we get into the meaning of an opossum sighting, maybe we should clear up the age-old question. We already did. Is it a possum or opossum? Well, we already did. She said if you live in the U.S. and you got one of these things in your yard, it's an opossum. She said, what does the opossum know that you don't? Read with a life path psychic and find out. So they're very territorial. And I gotta tell you too, it was another animal out there too. But I'm just saving that for later on. But y'all gotta hear that too. Because that animal is very territorial too. So she's saying that once they're in your yard, they try to take the territory over and won't let nothing else come up in there. So now she says she's starting to talk about magic of the animal totem. She says, so if you've ever seen an opossum, it's great at playing dead. Like I said, this one was upside down, but y'all gotta understand what I'm trying to tell y'all. Where it was at, what it did, this thing was smart as I don't know what. That was like why I would least expect that shit. So Native American totems tells you that the message the old possum is telling you is to be clever in achieving your victory and to expect the unexpected. Now that's Uranus energy if you're going to expect unexpected, but remember planet Uranus rules Aquarius. This little creature is telling you to use your brain, the element of surprise, and some drama to reach the progress you desire. Now she's saying opossums don't play dead when faced with danger. They said it's actually an internal switch in the possum's nervous system that shuts them down for a while. In other words, it doesn't do it on its own. It's an internal switch. So once again, they're saying that because the opossum doesn't live long, it's telling you to see the world through childlike eyes. So if you see an opossum, it may be telling you that circumstances around you may be changing. Said possums are nocturnal and like to live in dark places, so they can sleep during the day. And that's when I caught it. I caught it in bright daylight. Not caught it, but that's when I found it. They said it'll live under a pile of leaves. It didn't do that. In burrows and trees, it didn't do that. And any place dark and earthy seems to suit them best. It was they made it dark though, so that's how they have magical and spiritual energy and tree energy. See, like I said, it's not a tree though. It used to be a tree, but it's not a tree no more. See, that's to say how clever and surprising. But whenever you're gonna deal with surprising, you're dealing with Uranus energy, or Uranus rules Aquarius. So they say when you're talking about an opossum, you're talking about strategy, recovery, surprise, talent, diversion, earth energy, just to name a few. But again, a lot of that's Tupac Shakur. Remember that. And the funny thing about this is, yo, like I don't never really watch no TV or nothing like that. It's been a lot of stuff going on. And because we had no power, then we got the power back on. You got to adjust everything. So I happened to turn on the TV or whatever last night, and I turned on this channel, and right there was Tupac, the movie, and I had just seen that dude. I watched him on Jimmy Fallon, the actor, but this was the movie that he made, Tupac. But it was right when Tupac was leaving with Suge, right when he's getting ready to get into that vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Right, this is right before Tupac gonna get shot up. And I had just been talking about Pac recently. That's why this shit get eerie. Plus, when I think about Thomas More, because he do look like him. And then, just to let y'all know, I turned about 2 or 3 channels, and there was Bernie Mac. And what was happening with Bernie Mac was Vanessa was 17, but she was dressed up because she went to a prom or something. See, all this is a reason that you don't always understand. You kind of know what it means, but you don't understand. And then so Vanessa was mad at I think whatever her name was, that girl. I think her name was Vanessa. I forget. But I forget what Bernie Mac's wife was, what her name was. But anyway, it's that girl. So she was mad that Bernie Mac was, watching her. But even that was dressed up in a prom and all that, and a totally dark woman. This is the mother. You gotta understand it. And even when I got up today, it was some black female, but I had my glasses on, so I can't. But she was dark skinned too. But she was out there because it was kind of early, so it was kind of strange that she was out there. Cause y'all gotta understand, like for a while it was a beaver that was protecting this yard, and then he protected it for like 7 years, and then he kind of moved on. But I saw it not too long ago. But that possum been around. If this is the same possum, that possum been around. Or old possum. All right. So I'm not done yet because I'm still looking for some type of definitive whatever. So I'm gonna check it out again. Plus, I want to read those 2 horoscopes. But it's funny I keep telling you all about death and all that shit I just told y'all, death. And it's all connected to that possum. Because when they be outside, I guess they be looking for food or whatever. But they be out there like, because they come out like early in the morning or whatever. But they'll just be out there and they just keep walking around in the same yard. And they be looking funny and shit. But I know one day I was out there talking shit. And it almost came up to me. But I was laughing. And I was talking to my family on the cell phone. I was like, man, I said, this shit remind me of Martin. Remember Martin got in that fight when they went on that island and shit? And Martin got in a fight with that animal and shit. That shit was funny. I think that was the funniest Martin of all time. That was definitely one of the funniest shows. You gotta understand how funny Martin Lawrence was though, because he was competing against In Living Color and shit. But I think Martin was funnier than In Living Color, because that shit was just, the shit they did on Martin was unbelievably funny. All right, so I still want a definitive about this opossum. So it says diversion. Because that's what it was. This thing was just chilling. Because I told you one time, I was minding my own business. You know, it's early in the morning, whatever, pitch black outside. And I kept hearing a boom, a thump, a thump, a thump. And I'm like, I'm not going out there. Thump, thump, thump. I was like, man, whatever it is, I hope you get the fuck out of here. Thump, thump, thump. And I'm mad because I want to deal with it. Like it do whatever stop. You know what I'm saying? It's always some bullshit. So then it finally was daylight. So sure enough, I came outside, thump, thump, thump. And it got to be something in the garbage can. Because I told y'all it was something going on with that garbage can. Now I know what it is. Thump, thump. I said, oh, here go this bullshit. So then I walk up to the can. And I don't want nothing because I don't want to get bit. So I walk up to the can and I push the thing open. I push the lid open. I'm like, get out, get out. And it won't come out and shit. And then I'm like, well, I'm not going to leave it up here in the yard because, you know, it's people. They're going in and out the house. So then I grab the can and roll it like real fast. I'm running it down the thing because, you know, this thing will jump up, might jump out. It might jump out and jump on you. And that's when that white dog across the street was barking. I told that dog to shut up. And one time, I don't know if it's the same opossum or not, but it was knocking the cans over too. Like you put your barrel of stuff on the curb, and then it would get it and knock it over and shit. Like, stop knocking my shit over. So they say this is Native American totems. Opossum is the version. Now the reason why this is funny and historical, because again, a lot of people tell you that the real Native Americans was, you know, people of color, melanated people, and Abraham's seed. And they keep saying play dead. See, what I get from it is not so much play dead, but what I'm trying to tell y'all is sometimes you just got to accept where God puts you. Because a lot of times people keep trying to make something be a certain way. And sometimes it's not going to be a certain way. Sometimes you got to be thankful for wherever you at, and that other shit got to go. That's what I get from that shit. The whole playing dead shit. Because people be trying their best to make something happen. And I've been on this planet long enough to tell you, depending on who you are, if it's not meant to happen at that time, it's not going to happen. And what happens is you just waste a whole lot of time, or you put yourself in situations where almost you wish you hadn't put yourself in situations. Sometimes you just got to trust in God and Let it go. Cause like I said, this thing it ain't do shit. Y'all gotta understand when I tell y'all where this thing was and what happened, it didn't do no movement of diversion. And that's the first thing I said is this thing dead? But it was looking right at me. But just didn't do shit. And I said, man, I'm not trying to see if this thing is dead, and I'm not getting bit. I got the fuck up out of there. I said some shit. I don't remember what the fuck I said, but I like, oh, or some shit. I just started backing up and shit. They talking about this funny little creature has the ability to use his claws and teeth in a fight, but rarely does so. They keep calling him funny. Our funny little brother would receive an Oscar in the animal world if it was possible. Yeah, because he's a good actor. It confuses its enemies by actually excremating a must scent of death to create the diversion. And I remember one time when I emptied that can, I was like, yo, I like somebody put some shit in here, but it'd be a whole lot of stuff with that can. But that's how animals are because they get real territorial and shit. So that's the message. Strategy is required in the present situation. Rely on your instinct to get out of a tight corner. They said sometimes you gotta act apathetic or unafraid. So they're saying sometimes you gotta show somebody that like you're not gonna retaliate with their BS. So once they see that you're not gonna play their little game, they leave you alone. So they say Native Americans used to play dead because they learned it from the opossum, and their enemy would think they were dead, but when they least expected it, they will jump up and start fighting. So it's definitely about mental strategy. But they keep saying expect the unexpected. Oh, listen to what they say. Now I'm at Native American totems. Listen to what they say. The message from opossum may be telling you to be clever in achieving your victory and to expect the unexpected. The victory could be something as simple as a nosy neighbor, or a bothersome coworker. Pretty much this little creature is telling you to use your brain, element of surprise, and some drama to reach the progress you desire. And I did. I had to go to war because they wasn't gonna leave me alone. After 7 years of them being like nosy, just disrespectful, I finally had to like use strategy and beat their ass. And where this opossum was is right where my neighbor's house is. Cause she like I tell y'all, she's a nosy. She don't have no blinds. So that means every time you come outside, she see you. Cause she has no blinds and nothing like that. So you just heard what they said, Native American totems, that was for her. Like playing dead, just ignoring them idiots. And I keep trying to tell you, if y'all saw where that lightning hit, because that lightning hit right where the controversy's at, with both of them. All them neighbors and all that bullshit they be starting. And that's why we trying to tell people, y'all gotta watch who you fucking with, because you don't know who people are connected to, or what spirits is down with them people and stuff like that. But I'm not done yet, because I'm gonna tell you how that all came about. But we almost out here. But I want to make sure I got the full message. Like I'm trying to tell you, even this is a lot of strange shit. Because I'm seeing something I normally don't see, believe it or not. Now, for some reason, like even when that lightning hit, there was a black female out there with one of those small dogs. And she was saying that there were two other females with that. Now, for some reason, I'm seeing like a lot of black women with like small dogs, smaller dogs and stuff. And that's also rare. You don't see it like that. Not that many in one day and stuff. All these is messages. They're all universal messages. I know for a fact that whenever you deal with a dog, you're dealing like with hell. That's Anubis. That's Ampul, ruler of hell. Even like when you get with lightning, that's like God's judgment. And you gotta understand it. If you saw where it hit, because as soon as I seen that shit, I like, yo, I know what this is about. See, people don't realize. You're like right now they talking about Native Americans and shit. You gotta remember, if you go back to Native Americans, they was using all kind of magic and all kind of stuff against their oppressors. And these people don't realize because of they're so far away from who they really are, they don't realize that they're naturally connected to all that stuff. So that's why I be trying to tell you, people don't realize what they're getting into. Like you could be starting a unnecessary fight with somebody that has all kind of connections. Cause one time I had a relative that came with dogs, and he had one little dog, and this little dog wasn't scared of nobody. But one thing that dog did, it ran out of this yard, and it ran in everybody's yard that was giving me a hard way to go. And what it did, it went in the yard and it would run around the yard and run around the yard, and then it cut across and went to the other person's yard and ran all across their yard. And I knew that dog was putting curses on them people. I knew that. And the same people, my neighbors, the dog was in my yard, and the neighbor pulled up, and she parked her car where she don't never park her car, but she pull up over there to be a pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Cause she normally park her car like further back, but just to be a pain in the ass, she gonna pull up like real close to the property line and shit, just to be an asshole. As soon as she did that, that dog just ran up on her ass and shit. Now I'm about to tell you about the mockingbird, cause she did it before. And the mockingbirds, they real territory. They know where everything go. She did it again. I was outside one time on my own business, so she gonna pull the car up again to the property line, just being an asshole, cause she don't never park there. She parked behind. As soon as she did that, that mockingbird flew down and just landed on the fence and was just looking at her, like looking at her car, like you don't normally park here, like why you parking here now and shit. So we'll talk about that mockingbird today, because this happened right after that opossum sighting. I just got a couple more I'm gonna look at real quick. So they say a possum can teach you to use appearances to survive and succeed. Have strategy. And they said cougar symbolism is the same as opossum symbolism as far as using strategy to achieve. And remember, if you're going to deal with the cougar, I'm pretty sure that's in a lion family. Like I said, when I first looked at it, I was like, is this thing dead? Because it wouldn't move. And the way I pulled, if y'all understand, that thing should have been going crazy. I was like, is this thing dead? And I just looked, but it's looking dead at me. I said, oh, let me get the fuck out of here. And it looks scary as hell, like a damn alien and shit. What the fuck? I said, let me get the hell out of here. Because I would have thought that thing would have been growling and showing me his teeth or anything. And that's what they said. They said because of its defense mechanism, the predator just walks away in confusion. I just backed up. I was like, hey, what the fuck is this? But I knew that thing couldn't be dead. Because how the hell you get up in here if you're dead? And why would you come up in here just to die and shit? What type of shit is this? And so they keep saying it. It's similar to the tiger animal spirit. They keep going cougar, tiger. And you got to remember, when I first met my soulmate back in 2017, when I worked with, that's what the universe started showing me, the tiger, over and over again. And then they showed me Durga. Just like now I'm seeing all these women with dogs. Like that's a Durga and the lion, or Durga and the tiger. So that's what they said. Sometimes you just gotta just don't. They said don't give the people energy. Just play dead to those people. But that's why I said too. They said you gotta remember. They said it's not cowardness, but some things you just cannot handle. That's what I told y'all earlier. It's like even when like I recently watched Ali's fight with Foreman. Now, if Ali had tried to go blow for Foreman, it may have not worked so well because Foreman was hard hitting. So Ali chose to just rope a dope. And it kind of is like playing dead because this dude is hitting you with everything and you ain't returning nothing. But that's how Ali conserved his energy. And he waited until Foreman stopped. He got tired. He couldn't throw no more. Once Ali saw that, Ali started jabbing him up. And once Ali saw he wasn't returning to the jabs, Ali started hitting him with a knockout blows and knocked him out. So they say sometimes the opossum tells you gotta strengthen your appearance because some people may look at you and think you're weak. So now they talking about the ladybug spirit animal, and I just saw the ladybug because they said again you have to act a certain way just to get people to leave you the fuck alone. So they keep saying expect the unexpected, always be on the lookout for deception and lies. Try not to get caught up in the drama. And that's what I did when I finally had to back them up. And they still try to find a way in. They keep on trying to find a way back in. I just look at them like these people gotta have evil spirits on them because they go out of their way to just start trouble. I really don't even have no history with these crazy ass people. So they say the opossum is a trickster. Now, when you hear trickster, you think about Thoth, and you also think about the black birds, which I will be talking about a bird before I get out of here with this. They say don't trust people, keep people at an arm's length. This is trustedpsychicmediums.com. Be calm and sensible. And there's a person holding an opossum, and he looks like he's smiling. all these pictures should be at the end of this. All right, we're getting ready to do the horoscope. I'm just looking over this. Sound like when they go possum in a possum because the other ones went out of their way to tell you that they're different. Now these are putting them together, so I don't even want to read it. Now there's one in the tree. He looks like a fucking polar bear though. But the way he's looking at you almost like a human. All right, so I hope Aquarius listened to this like I told him, because that element of surprise is Uranus, and Uranus rules Aquarius. All right, so let's read the two horoscopes. This is for Leo. There's nothing you can't do when courageous Mars in your sign syncs with lucky Jupiter. Hey, how will you? Oh, yeah. When we was going through hell because it was hot, but thank God it wasn't as hot as it could have been. Like after the power went and everything, it was hot, but it had cooled off. If it had stayed as hot as it was, I don't know if I would have made it. And I was trying to tough it out, but it was getting bad. Like after that second day, it was getting bad, and that's when I just started praying and stuff. But God had already sent me. He sent me like a red bird. So I knew that because they told us we wasn't gonna get no power. They said you're probably not gonna have power till late Friday. And I mean late Friday, like, oh man, I don't know if I can make it to late Friday. And then I saw that bird like on Wednesday. I said I hope it come back on Wednesday. But like I said, as soon as I came back, as soon as it came on, I cut on the TV, and next thing I know, it's Tupac getting in the car with Suge and shit. I said, oh shit, Tupac about to get shot up. Cause I tell you for a fact that possum is affiliated with murders and shit. And y'all gotta understand what I'm telling you. That possum's affiliated with that lightning bolt hitting, and it hit right where them people be all that drama they be causing. See, one thing it did, it humbled me. That's why I said a lot of videos I made during that blackout, I'm not even gonna publish. Cause one thing it kind of humbled me, to wash my hand clean of a lot of shit. Cause that's what the possum saying. The opossum is telling you don't let these people pull you into their frequency. So there's nothing you can't do when courageous Mars is in your sign syncs with lucky Jupiter. How will you make the most of this epic moment of bravery and adventure? Is there an intriguing girl or guy that you had your eye on? It's an excellent time to make a move. This isn't the time to play it small, so get out there and show the person that you're interested in. Artistic projects, hobbies, and all sorts of fun and games are enhanced by this playfully competitive vibe. It's time to level up. Consult the Love Psychic for help. Dating advice. All right, that was for Leo from California Psychics. Now we're going to do Aquarius. Look no further than your partner or an enthusiastic friend if you need motivation. With driven Mars in Leo and optimistic Jupiter in Sagittarius, energizing your people zones, you'll find loads of inspiration by observing the people around you. You won't want to be left out of the party when you see everyone making bold moves. What's your big dream, Aquarius? And how can the people around you help you to take it to the next level? If there's a group that shares your interest, it's an excellent time to join up. All right, so now I'm just going to tell you again, a horrible, horrible time. No power. It's hot as I don't know what. All kind of stuff is going on. Um, but I have a canvas on my shed, and the canvas sometimes the wind blows it up or whatever. So I said, well, I'm not worrying about that now. I'll worry about that when we get this heat thing better run the grips. And it wasn't just the heat thing; it was all kind of shit went wrong. Like everything went wrong. Literally, anything you was trying to do would go wrong. It was crazy. I just ain't talking about it. So early this morning, I went out there to roll that canvas down. So keep in mind, I'm pulling on this thing. It's on top of the shed or whatever. The shed is wooden, a wooden shed. So I'm pulling this canvas down and pulling it down. And then when it rolled up, I saw that thing. I said, oh shit. And I'm like, is this thing dead? And then it was just looking at me. Scary as fuck. But I knew something was up anyway because I knew something was putting some stuff in a garbage can. And I've seen this thing is probably the same one I've been seeing for years. Probably. Might not be, but might be. Because I already knew, I was like, I don't think that beaver's the one getting in this can. Because it's a big barrel. And we block it because the squirrels bit through it. It's plastic. The squirrels bit through it. So I try to block it with a old suitcase, but they still get it anyway. But it was something that was literally coming and knocking that off the can. So I knew that wasn't the squirrel. So I said, is that beaver doing that? And I didn't know. So this thing is hanging, upside down. And it's just looking at me. Just laying there. But it's definitely looking at you. It ain't closing its eyes. It ain't fake dead. It's just looking at you. I said, what the fuck? And I didn't even care. I wasn't trying to look at nothing else. Because I said, while you standing here trying to analyze this thing, be done lunch and bit the shit out of you. So as soon as I seen that, I said something. I don't know what I said. I just started backing up and shit. And I just came back in the house. And I was too exhausted. I said, man, I'm not worrying about this shit. There's too much going on. Then I look out the door again hours later. And I'm going to tell you what I saw. Now, of course, there's still some electricity company trucks out there. And I see SPCA. And that's animal control. Now, I don't know what that was about. And I was too exhausted. Because something was like saying, go out there and ask that person, tell them your situation. And I was exhausted, bro. I was like, nah. I was exhausted. But the mockingbird was there too. So that mockingbird came down in the tree where that opossum was hiding or whatever. That mockingbird came down in that tree and was like looking at me saying, you need to tell that SPCA to get that rodent up out of there. And I was like, man, I don't feel like getting involved with it and shit. So then the officer came around the van and the mockingbird flew and landed on the telephone wire right above the door I was looking out of. And he said it's like he said it again. He's like, you need to tell SPCA that situation. And I was like, I don't know. So now me personally, just because the thing was kind of wasn't aggressive, that could have been any reason. Because to me, any wild animal is a wild animal. So now I know I'm not gonna be like going out there too much in the nighttime and shit like that. I'm gonna be real careful how I move now. And you know, I'll see. Like I said, it's one of them things. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is obviously that thing's been out there for a while. And then I looked out there again later on, and I saw a squirrel out there. So I don't know if it left. I don't know if that opossum left or not, because that squirrel was out there. It was on top of the shed eating. Because the squirrels is always out there. But they said that the opossum is territorial. So I'm like, if it's territorial, what is that squirrel doing out there eating and shit? And I kind of get the idea. I could be wrong about this, but I kind of get the idea that's the same opossum that been out there the longest. You know, at least 2 or 3 years. Because that one time it was like it came, but it was dark, and I seen it walking, and I seen it, and I was laughing. I said, "Man, that thing looked like that thing on Martin and shit." And I actually said something to it, and it stopped. It was gonna come over to me and shit. I said, "You better not come over here." But I was laughing. I was on the phone and shit. I was like, "Yo, this thing look like Martin. It looked just like that little rugrat and shit that Martin was fighting and shit." So that's it. This get, I'm out. All right. So I don't know if I remember to say this or not, but anyway, so I had no energy for that whole time. So when I finally did start having energy, and I finally got up and I ate and everything, when I looked at the clock, it was 4:44. I think I did say that. I don't remember. But again, that's the name. That's the number for archangels. That's Thomas More's number again. But that's that whole Aquarius energy stuff, and it's all about angels as well, archangels and stuff. All right, I'm out.